the Tall Timbers Centre in Box Hill, New South Wales. A facility managed by the Riding for the Disabled Association and home to regular Equine Pathways Australia clinics. Corey Brown recently visited an EPA clinic and couldn't help but be inspired by the story of Kate Nipperess.
Chief Seattle is well clear with 100 metres left to go. Chief Seattle is going to race away and score well. Good go here for the Miners. Oriental Express gets up on the fence to run second. Third, Manor Ridge.
Kate, you have fond memories in 2013 in Armidale with Chief Seattle?
Yeah, it brings back great memories. Everyone's first winner is obviously a big thrill.
Now the winner of the race, number 4, Chief Seattle, and ridden by apprentice Kate Nipperess.
The fondest memory I have of that day would be calling Guy Walter afterwards and telling him that I'd ridden a winner.
Guy Walter played a big part in your life?
Yeah, he was one of my first jobs riding Trackwork, was with him. He was a father figure to everyone that worked for him.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Talk us through your career as a rider.
Well, I grew up riding horses. I can't remember before I rode. I was very, very small when I started riding. I loved them since I was a baby. I didn't ride a racehorse till I was about 20.
Okay.
I started working in the stables for Greg Hickman.
Okay.
And I remember leading horses over to the track one of my first days, and I saw a gallop go past on the course proper in the fog, and I thought, oh, that's what I want to do.
In 2016, you were involved in a really nasty trackwork accident. Can you take us through it?
Yeah, I was riding pacework on the pro ride at Warwick Farm, and I remember very clearly up until when it must have happened. I remember counting my last furlong and I heard the loose horse siren go off, and I looked around everywhere and I couldn't see a loose horse, and I was just concerned as to how my horse was going to react to a horse coming past it. And when I couldn't see the loose horse, I just looked at my horse's ears to see how he was feeling, and he was relaxed and just working along nicely. And then I woke up on the ground the next minute and I didn't know what had happened. I remember Mark Connors and Gary Portelli holding me down, and I was just fighting them, trying to get up, as you do when you fall off. You want to jump up again. And they said to me, "You've had a fall, you can't move, Kate, you've had a fall." And I said, "No, I haven't." I was really confused, and although it was daylight and the sky was apparently blue, I just remember it being purple and swirly behind them, so I was obviously in a lot of shock of some sort. And a few minutes after that, the pain kicked in, and it was just indescribable. It was excruciating pain. I didn't realise you could feel that much pain and still be alive. It was just horrific. I ended up breaking in my back, my neck, most of my ribs, my shoulder. I was knocked out, I split my head, and both my lungs collapsed.
Giving me goosebumps just talking about it. What was the diagnosis after the accident?
I was told I had a 50-50 chance of walking again. So I just thought that, like everything else I'd done in life with horses and work, if I worked hard enough, that I would be able to defy the odds and walk again. When I left hospital walking, I use the term loosely, walking, I thought that I would just continue to improve. And then when I went home, and that didn't really happen, I started struggling a lot mentally and spiralled down into a pretty dark place.
What turned it around?
I was in it for a couple of years at least. It got worse and worse. And a girl that I became friends with through a social media support group convinced me to go to a wheelchair rugby training session. And that was the turning point in my life. And it wasn't playing rugby, it was the people that I met there who really saved me. One of the guys there said to me, "What is it that bothers you so much about being in a wheelchair?" Because I had barely left the house for years because I didn't want to be seen in a wheelchair. And I said, "I hate people pitying me." And he said, "Do you feel sorry for me?" And I laughed. And he said, "Well, why don't you? I'm a quadriplegic. How come you don't feel sorry for me?" And I thought about it, and he said, it's because I can do anything. I'm a weapon. He said, be a weapon. And it just turned around my way of thinking.
Great advice.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd never ever thought about it like that, the way to change it and turn it around.
People only feel sorry for you if you see yourself as a victim. And I started looking at it as something that I wasn't going to let beat me, and I overcame it.
Yeah, mate, you're an incredible person, honestly. How long did it take for you to want to get back on the horse?
I wanted to get back on a horse from the moment I came off. As you would understand, horses aren't what I do, they're who I am.
Yeah.
I felt like a piece of me was missing. And no matter how happy I became, I always said to people, a part of my heart will always be broken.
Well, it's not broken anymore.
No, it's definitely not. I feel whole again.
Good boy.
So I need a bit of help to get up. But once I'm up.
okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Just trust me, I'm behind you, so we're all good.
If you bend that, it's going to be easier more pliable.
You right if I pull?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you can lead him in and then let him go when he's in there, please. That'd be great. My name's Julia Battams. I'm the Program Executive Manager for Equine Pathways Australia, which is a charity that supports athletes with disabilities getting back into equestrian sport after illness or injury.
It's completely changed my life, monumentally. I wouldn't be able to be back on a horse without their help.
So how did you pull up after your first ride?
I was a little bit sore after the
thought you might
first
be.
day, but luckily you didn't make me do too much that first day, which was good.
I've made that mistake before.
I would have stayed on all day,
I know
but I
you
was
would.
glad that on the Sunday.
I know, and I feel like the world's worst person saying, right, that's it, half hour's done, you've got to get off.
And they had a clinic at the RDA facility at Box Hill a few weeks ago. It felt like finally being back home.
I seen you the second day when I arrived out here on the horse, and I was amazed. Like, firstly, the look on your face, but then like your style, like it was just amazing. Like the seat that you had on the horse was incredible.
Like straight away, you just go, yep, this girl's got it.
It felt pretty natural when I got back up there.
Good, and now forward again. Good. At the high performance end, it's about getting athletes back into competition sport, right through to Paralympic representation. And yeah, she's got what it's going to take.
So what is the goal?
The goal is a pretty big one. We're aiming to get to Paris Paralympics, which isn't that far away, but we've got the ball rolling pretty quickly.
Good. A little bit more. Push. That's it. Good.
Paralympics is pretty special.
Pretty big thing, isn't it?
Pretty special, yeah. I mean, going to the Olympics was something I always wanted to do as a kid when I was competing in equestrian events, so it would be a lifelong dream come true.
My background, I've been employed as the national coach for Paralympics. So I took a team to London and a team to Rio. Looking back at athletes I've trained in the past, Kate is a really serious chance. The talent she's got in spades, that's not an issue. What's holding her back at the moment is access to the sort of horse that's required at international level.
Obviously with my injury, you need a specific type of horse, as well as it being talented. Has to have a really good nature, has to be quite forward thinking because I can't use my legs, which is going to be pretty expensive as well. So we're going to have to find a way to facilitate some fundraising of some description.
To access a horse like that, we need support. We need either financial support or we need an owner that has a good quality horse who would like to come along on the journey with Kate, potentially a medal contender. They'd get an owner's accreditation to get to the Paralympic Games. So, you know, the behind the scenes, all access pass, the whole process is a pretty cool thing to do.
If you would like to support the EPA and Kate, you can do so by heading to equinepathways.org.au and clicking the donate button in the top right-hand corner. Or if you'd like more information on how you can be more directly involved, please email warren@equinepathways.org.au.
So we're looking for a horse for Paris. You know, the goal is to get there in 2 and a bit years' time. How special would that be?
It would just be unbelievable after such a dark place that I've mentioned that I was in for those years, to come out of it and then achieve such an amazing goal and accomplish something like that would be just indescribable.
On top of the world.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be following the journey. Let's hope in 2.5 years' time we're doing this similar sort of interview after the Olympics.
I hope so. Thank you so much.